The original Cats opened in the fall of 1982. Do you remember what you were all doing when it opened?
I didn't exist.
Right, I was gonna say I was not alive yet.
I was not even a thought.
At all.
Yeah, not yet.
You just existed somewhere out there in the ether, right?
In the
Okay,
Jellicle
that's what I
universe.
thought, an idea in the Jellicle universe. Have you all seen the pre-Ballroom Cats? Who here has seen it? Okay, and what were your impressions of that show, baby?
I watched the VHS stage recording when I booked this show, and I loved it. I could see why people went up for it, like, in its time.
Dudney?
As a kid during the summer, I would go to my public library and I rented the VHS of Cats and watched it and fell in love with it.
And Dava, what about you?
I actually watched the movie through YouTube. It was different, and then Baby showed me the original
Oh yeah.
from 1984. And yes, the dancing is over. The dancing is beautiful. So agreed that I could see why everyone went up for it.
Yeah.
And Sydney?
I saw the most recent Broadway revival, and the dancing was incredible, but I didn't understand necessarily.
Yeah.
I just thought, oh, this is a big splashy thing. It definitely gave me like 80s period piece.
Yeah.
You know.
And I love that you're willing to admit that you didn't quite get it.
It's Cats having fun, man. I remember, a lot of tumbling. I remember a lot of cat moves.
Right. Yeah.
And a big saucer flying into the air.
Right. And Silk, what was your impression of the show?
I get what a lot of people say about the version that Andrew Lloyd Webber made, but to me, I loved it. Whenever Mistopheles came out on that pole with the light-up vest and was doing his thing and he did his fouettes, I was like, if that's what I'm gonna be doing, I went to Juilliard, so girl, I'll be able to. But of course, this version, I'm walking runway, so it's totally different. It's definitely amazing.
And Dudney, how do you explain ballroom? If somebody said, what's ballroom, what would you say?
I would say it's a space or a community. Well, it was birthed from Crystal LaBeija. She stepped away from the pageant scene and wanted to create a space that was for us, for Black, Brown, POC, queer people to be seen. And so ballroom was kind of birthed out of that resilience, right? And so the space becomes now, there are houses, there are different categories. It's not just voguing, there's runway, there's realness, there's face, there's hands performance, there's a list of categories that happen in a ball. And it all, I think, is about ownership, owning your stripes, owning who you are, stepping into the confidence of who you are as a person in that fullness. And I do think, tying it back to the show, I found that during our workshops at the PAC, it was a laboratory is the only word that can come to mind right now, and also a sanctuary where it was a place where I think Jalen, Bill, Omari, Arturo were so careful about the integrity of the culture of ballroom, but then also preserving T.S. Eliot's words, Andrew Lloyd Webber's work, to make sure we could marry the two. So yeah.
Every season on Broadway, there are a lot of revivals. This is not a revival, right? That's a misnomer for this. What is this? This
a
is
reinvention.
A
reinvention.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I think a rebirth.
A rebirth?
A revolution.
A revolution?
Reimagining.
Reimagining. Dava, you're on the spot.
I was gonna say revolution.
Revolution, yeah. Yeah, revolution.
Yeah, a revolution.
Yes.
I think ballroom is so theatrical. Making your own costumes or effects, putting production numbers together with your house members. So much of it is super theatrical. So as much as there are differences, I feel like what's similar really is what brought it together seamlessly.
I feel like for the work, for all of us, individually, we've been able to find our own selves within our character roles. And for me, being able to come onto this stage and also authentically be myself and perform and be Mistopheles, but at the same time be like, well, what would Silk do to amp up what Mustapha would be from Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats to this one. Just like in simpler senses what I said before, like really it's just finding a collectiveness within ourselves, within the character. I feel like that's what has brought the authenticness to this production.
Well, I was going to say, if it's what you're describing sounds different than acting a role, it
Right,
sounds...
you're literally being yourself.
You're being yourself. And is that what people are connecting to? That
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in a major way. I mean, for the actors in the industry alone, it's opened so many doors to who can be in musical theater. I got into musical theater. I dropped out of school when I was 18 to come and be in entertainment. And musical theater seemed like the easiest way in because there's open auditions and you can go to things and just like roll the dice and see what you get. But I didn't feel seen as a type, like for who I was. I was always trying to be shoehorned into something else. And I was a huge club kid at the time, like going out all the time. And that's actually where I saw my first like elements of Vogue, and people in the ballroom community were out in the club life. So now, all this time later, I never, as a theater person, saw myself in Cats, the musical. It wasn't on my radar. But I get to be my whole self as the Rum Tum Tugger. All of the things about me that are not necessarily the things that I would ever show in a normal audition, like going out, or that I kiki at the club, or even like walking into the room with some sass or making a joke that lets everybody in the room know I'm queer. It's just something you don't do. You, in fact, are kind of taught, like you walk into a room as a male and you turn on the realness, which is a category I walk in this show, one of the categories. And so to be able to be out there and let that all drop as a male of color, it's never happened for me. And I've had so many people come up to me on the street who've seen the show, like thanking me, thanking this production and us for them being able to see themselves, like when they're in the wings, you know, of Aladdin or in the wings of Thoroughly Modern Millie before they enter going, ha, 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 and then walking on like this, right? Yeah. That they get to see what you really want to do. And so I think it's really, for the industry, opened the doors. So many things came right after Cats.
Yeah.
Saturday Church.
Yeah.
Drag the musical.
You know, Drag the Musical. And you know, we've just had a lot of opportunity now. And I think on the same level, the community, the larger LGBTQ plus community feels seen. And I think that for the first time for Cats, if you're asking what we've done for the show, we've given it a story. We've given it a through line that you can follow, and there's a character for every single person who comes to watch the show, by which their lens, by which to see the path and where they fit in.
And it's occurring to me that when people are in the audience, they're seeing Sydney as the Rum Tug Tugger. And with all due respect to Terrence V. Mann, who's great, who originated the role on Broadway, with all that makeup and all that, you were seeing the character, and that's all you're seeing. But here you're seeing the performer and right? Is that sort of
absolutely. You're seeing me out at the club. Like on any given night when we go Kiki, I'm the Rum Tum Tugger.
When you go Kiki?
Let's have
a Kiki is like a party. It's like when we go out and have fun.
Like a key party?
Yeah, this is a key.
Okay, all right.
Like this is a Kiki, like we're having a Kiki right now.
It's just like people.
Use that literal key. Literal keys. I love it.
So, Baby, when you're performing as Victoria, how much of Baby are we seeing?
It's all Baby.
It's all Baby.
And that's been the beauty of this also being my first job, like my first professional job, is they asked for me because I'm two-time Women's Performance of the Year in the Southeast, and like all of my 20s I was like traveling and like going to balls, and so but also, you know, I have like theater experience from when I was in high school and from when I was a child. So just being able to bring my story, I feel like Victoria is like, represents like women's performance all over the world, because it's a category that's like been in ballroom for a long time. And so I feel like it's nice when like my other women's performance friends like come to see the show and they're like, wow, like you're doing this, you know? It's special, and it's something that is for like me, but like it's definitely like a bigger picture kind of thing. Like each role in the show, I feel like it's a much bigger picture.
And Dava, what does it feel like on the stage? What are you getting from the audience?
I definitely feed off of the audience's roar. Or even like if they don't like me, I kind of feed off of that too.
They love you.
Well, sometimes when I beat somebody in the show, some people aren't so happy about it. And I kind of live. It's like, be mad, because this is my trophy finally.
Right.
I really feed off of the audience, no matter what their reaction is. And I've never been in a show where a bad reaction, I'm allowed to give something
Respond.
more.
You get to ignore it. You have to pretend.
I have to ignore it, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't have to ignore it.
Yeah.
And
She's very confrontational.
I'm very confrontational in the show. So, yes.
And Dudney, do you feel like the audience is part of the show, the cast even? Or,
Absolutely. Yeah, especially in the pack, I think for the favorite moment for me was during the top of Act 2, we have a scene, it's called The Moments of Happiness. And it's a projection that shows icons, trailblazers, those who have paved the way, right? We're honoring legacy, tradition, all of the above. But I remember, in the start of Act 2, I kind of creep in the aisle, and I just kind of like look around, and I felt for the first time like locking eyes with audience members that were getting emotional, because it's like we can be here and live in this moment and be who we are because of all of those people who have paved the way. So I've never in a show ever on stage shared a moment, and I've done a bit of immersive theater, but this is the first time where it's like you could literally hold someone's hand, on right next to them in the audience and be like, yeah, I feel it too, like you're safe here, you know?
You are tearing down that fourth wall.
Yes.
And I've heard the intermission is a place where people like meet each other and start
It's
new
totally a
relationships,
party.
and it's like, yeah.
It's a party. It really is. So our audience may not be familiar with the terms Kiki and Realness. So who wants to help define them for us? Sydney?
Realness is being able to walk in the world, the everyday world, without being clocked. And being clocked is when somebody like recognizes that you're gay. So for men, it's sort of a self-protection mechanism to be able to realness to me tends to be like a lack of expression, a lot of like what you see of stereotypical males. It's like when you say what's up, it's like,
Sup?
yeah, it's just like,
Sup?
Little things that you do
pretty
when
good,
you see
right?
a realness battle, like a like female like Vogue Femme battle. They're going off. There's so much happening to express the feminine. With a realness battle, it's it's a lot of stillness and a lot of posturing, and so realness. That's realness for men.
Let's move on to Kiki. So who wants to take Kiki?
A Kiki is a chat. It's when you're finding your friends and you're like, girl. That's
It's
a
like
Kiki.
you're giggling,
Yes,
like it's like not serious. It's like fun, hang
fun
out,
combo.
vibes.
Vibes.
It's vibes.
Lots of jokes.
And it might actually, and lots of jokes, and it might actually sound like Kiki, like a little bit like.
I would say the Kiki is like, girl, what the hell is going on up in here?
And it's like this.
Right, like, girl, oh my God, you see that? Like, yes.
That's it. Yes.
And what is the history of this?
That's the
Well,
clap, no?
that's like, yes, go off.
That's the clap.
That's like
Yeah.
We're clapping,
when
but
somebody
it's
does
not-
something amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
it's also
the
the
middle finger, not the first finger.
This is ballroom.
But this is a sign of approval.
Yes.
Basically.
Ate that.
That's it.
Definitely.
Well, thank you all.
You're welcome, yes.
Yes, exactly.